You know that moment when you're driving and everything feels too normal? No warning lights, no weird noises, nothing knocking, nothing slipping. You start thinking, man, why can't every SUV be like this? Because deep down, you know the truth. Most SUVs aren't built to last. They're built to impress, to sell in showrooms, to look modern, to hide complexity under glossy marketing lines like all-new platform or advanced drivetrain. But that complexity comes at a cost, not just in money, but in time, stress, and the sheer frustration of having a vehicle that breaks down in unpredictable ways. The modern SUV is often a ticking clock, designed to fail expensively outside of its warranty period. But the SUVs we're talking about today, the 7 that almost refuse to die, aren't like that. They're built with a completely different philosophy. They follow a simple rule: survival over styling, engineering over excitement. And once you understand what makes them so reliable, you'll immediately see why other SUVs fall apart long before these even break a sweat. You'll understand the physics of heat, friction, and stress that separate these 7 legends from the rest of the market. So buckle up, because we're going through 7 models that don't just last, they outlive expectations. And we're starting with a machine that has made an entire generation of mechanics shake their head and say, yep, still running. Coming in at number 1, the Toyota 4Runner, the boring legend. There's something almost poetic about the 4Runner. It doesn't shout, it doesn't brag, it doesn't care about trends or turbochargers or having 1,000 driving modes, it just keeps going. And the secret is extreme simplicity, wrapped in extreme durability. A naturally aspirated V6 that doesn't rely on boost, paired with the legendary A750F 5-speed automatic transmission. This gearbox has the personality of a brick, slow, unbothered, impossible to break, and it generates almost no waste heat. The cooling systems are so oversized, they're basically laughing at heat. Everything about the 4Runner is designed to avoid stress. The conservative tuning and tall gearing keep the engine calm. The timing chain means no panic belt replacements, and the body-on-frame construction means hitting potholes or off-road obstacles doesn't start a cascade of microfractures through the chassis. The entire vehicle is engineered to absorb abuse without complaint. It treats mileage like a joke, and it treats maintenance like a formality. If the 4Runner were a person, it would be the friend who never complains, never gets sick, and shows up early to every meeting. And right after that workhorse comes an SUV that feels like a 4Runner that decided to lift weights and take meditation classes. Coming in at number 2, the Lexus GX, the calm V8 tank. This thing is a paradox in the best way. A luxury SUV that's secretly a heavy-duty truck. Soft on the inside, steel on the inside under the hood, you get the iconic 4.6-liter V8, which is so de-stressed it runs cool even when towing at capacity. This V8 is built with a timing chain system with a reputation for outliving owners, and it's mated to a traditional hydraulic automatic transmission that shifts like someone who has all the time in the world. The GX doesn't rush, it flows. And that calmness is exactly why it lasts so long. The software is gentle, the hardware is overbuilt, and the failures are predictable and rare. The platform shares components with other global Toyota trucks, meaning parts are common and readily available worldwide. The only real quirk? That active height control suspension. But even that, if maintained or converted to simple coils, becomes just another non-issue in the GX's long life. It's the SUV for people who want Land Cruiser engineering but wrapped in Lexus quietness. Speaking of which, sliding into number 3, the Toyota Land Cruiser and Lexus LX, the global survivors. This is what happens when engineers are told, build something that must work everywhere, even places without roads. The Land Cruiser family is the pinnacle of over-engineering. It features huge radiators, massive oil capacity, thick axles, and redundant systems. The cooling is designed for deserts, mountains, jungles, and anywhere humans aren't meant to live. This is why aid organizations, miners, and explorers rely on them. Not because they're cheap, but because they absolutely cannot fail. These SUVs aren't made for comfort first, they're made for survival. Not survival like winter is harsh, but survival like you're crossing a desert at 50 degrees Celsius, you've been driving for 17 hours, and you're still 200 miles from civilization. Land Cruisers don't just start in those conditions, they stay stable. The engine doesn't overheat. The transmission doesn't cook its fluid. The oils stay cool. The seals stay soft. The components stay calm. They have a global parts inventory supporting them, meaning parts availability never becomes a problem. And that's why these machines don't just hit 200,000 miles. They hit 400,000, 500,000, even 600,000 without losing their heartbeat. After three giants built for abuse, let's shift to something quieter, something made for daily life but engineered with surprising intelligence. Moving into number 4, the Honda CR-V 2.4, the unassuming hero. The CR-V doesn't look like a durability monster. It's small, friendly, almost humble in the way it presents itself. But pop the hood and you see one of the most reliable engines ever put in a modern SUV, the 2.4-liter K-Series. This thing is a masterpiece of low-stress engineering, naturally aspirated, cool running, timing chain, minimal thermal spikes, and everything is accessible. Mechanics love how easy these are to work on, because all the common service points are right at the top. This ease of access cuts down on labor costs and makes sure critical maintenance gets done correctly. Depending on the year, you get either a classic 5-speed automatic or a mature CVT, both of which can last unbelievably long when you respect the fluid change intervals. The key to the CR-V's long life is that it never asks you to do anything complicated. It just rewards consistent, simple maintenance. The CR-V isn't dramatic, it doesn't flex, it doesn't brag, it just works. Day after day, month after month, year after year. And coming right after it is the SUV that plays a similar role, but with Toyota's signature flavor. At number 5, the Toyota RAV4, the reliable default. The RAV is everywhere, and it's everywhere because it almost never gives owners a reason to get rid of it. The formula couldn't be simpler: a naturally aspirated engine, a straightforward 6-speed automatic transmission, a logical AWD system that doesn't rely on complex clutches or air suspensions, chain timing, easy packaging, massive parts availability. Toyota didn't reinvent anything with the RAV4, they perfected the basics. The NA 2.5-liter engine is calm and predictable, the automatic is drama-free, and the whole layout is built around minimizing heat, friction, and complexity. The AWD system is simple and robust, using a reliable coupling that avoids the expensive, failure-prone designs found in some competitors. There's nothing extreme about it, and that's exactly why it's so reliable. And right after Toyota's daily driver champion comes perhaps the most interesting SUV on the list. Coming in at number 6, the Mazda CX-5 with the 2.5 Sky Active, the deceptively advanced survivor. On paper, you might think the Sky Active engine is high risk. High compression usually means high stress, right? Not here. Mazda engineered this powertrain with surgical precision. The key is how quickly and efficiently the engine reaches its operating temperature, minimizing cold start wear. The cooling system is incredibly efficient, and combustion is tightly controlled. This allows them to run high compression without the high thermal stress that usually kills seals and gaskets. And the 6-speed automatic is one of the most underrated transmissions ever put in a modern SUV. It uses a torque converter, not a complex dual-clutch system, and is tuned for crisp, clean shifts, which minimizes friction and heat. The CX-5 feels sportier than the others on this list, but it never sacrifices reliability to get that feeling. It's proof that a car can be fun and durable, two things that rarely coexist in the compact SUV world. And now, we reach the final SUV, the one that surprises people the most, because Subaru's reputation is complicated until you remove one specific thing. And finally, at number 7, the Subaru Forester Non-Turbo, the heat-free Subaru. The biggest flaw in Subaru engines isn't the flat 4 design, it's the heat generated by turbocharging remove the turbo, and suddenly, the entire engine becomes calmer, cooler, more stable. The chain-driven flat 4 in the non-turbo Forester ages gracefully. The boxer layout means a low center of gravity, which aids handling, but more importantly, it allows the engine to run with less overall stress. The Lineartronic CVT, once feared, has matured into a dependable unit when serviced with the proper intervals. And Subaru's symmetrical AWD system, which is always on and extremely predictable, helps keep the drivetrain balanced without the complicated on-demand engagement systems that can fail expensively. This is the Subaru for people who want a Subaru without the stories. No boost means no thermal spike issues. No thermal spike issues means no cooked gaskets or unhappy seals. It becomes the reliable mountain goat Subaru always wanted to be. So what connects all 7 of these SUVs? It's not magic, it's not hype, it's not brand loyalty. It's engineering that respects physics. Every single SUV on this list is built around one philosophy: keep heat low, keep stress low, and make maintenance easy. Because when you break down what kills most modern SUVs, it comes down to just a few things. Heat, the single biggest killer of fluids, seals, gaskets, and solenoids. Modern turbochargers and high-output engines generate immense heat, accelerating the breakdown of every component they touch. These 7 SUVs run naturally aspirated engines with oversized cooling systems, friction and complexity. Complex transmissions with too many gears, like 8, 9, or 10 speeds, or dual-clutch systems introduce more moving parts and more friction events, increasing the probability of failure. The vehicles on this list use proven, simpler 5 or 6-speed automatics or mature CVTs. Unpredictable failures. Forced induction pushes components beyond their comfort zone, and timing belts can fail at the worst possible moment. The predictability of a timing chain and the low stress of a naturally aspirated engine reduce this risk. Poor serviceability. Packaging that hides critical parts under layers of unnecessary design makes routine maintenance expensive and often leads to skipped service intervals. The engines here are generally accessible, keeping labor costs low. These 7 SUVs don't play that game. Their engines run cool. Their transmissions shift simply. Their cooling systems are oversized. Their timing systems are chain-driven. Their platforms share parts across millions of cars. And above all, they're predictable. Predictability is the real secret to reliability. A part that fails at 250,000 miles is not a problem. It's a scheduled replacement. A part that fails randomly at 60,000 is a nightmare. These SUVs age slowly, gracefully, steadily, and they do it while staying cheap to maintain and easy to understand. If you want an SUV that feels like a long-term partner, something that stays with you, doesn't drain you, and doesn't surprise you, the models we just covered are the smartest mechanical bets you can make today. Not because they're trendy, not because they're new, but because their engineering is rooted in common sense, not complexity, stability, not speed, durability, not decoration. And if you care about how cars are truly built, what makes them last, what causes them to fail, and how design choices ripple years into the future, you're in the right place. Because on this channel, we don't chase hype. We chase the truth behind the machines we drive. Stick around. There's always more happening beneath the surface.